Punch, Diablo, in Toro. Hey, right, okay, and this is Cigar Vlog. Focus camera, thank you. Alright, so Punch is one of those classic brands that, as you can see from the label here, apparently was established in 1840. So if you're into Wild West games like Red Dead Redemption 2, it's entirely plausible that you could have possibly had a Punch in that time frame. Anyway, this is one of their newer lines, and it's kind of interesting to see that Punch, a classically Cuban brand, relocated to Honduras, is still coming up with new lines, and especially new, really dark. I want to call this a Maduro, but I'm not entirely positive on that. Just new, innovative lines that try to keep the brand fresh and in everybody's mind. As far as I know, Punch really took off in the early 1900s when they introduced the Rothschild to the British market, which you can still find today, and I actually have 2 reviews of that. One for the regular, one for the Maduro. Check it out. But the Diablo is newer branding, different flavor profile, and definitely not your typical Punch. I've had a few of these before, so I know a little bit about this, but I'm going to go ahead and light this up here and see if this actually ends up being entirely different when I actually get when I'm paying attention to it. Apologies for wind noise, it's a little breezier than I thought, and there's really dry leaves that are making just a horrendous racket. Right off the bat, a little spicy, a little leathery, clean tobacco, a little earthy. Definitely a far cry from the typical sweet spicy cedar that you normally find in a Punch. Well, anyway, so far so good. Different from your typical Punch line, which is good. Pretty sure I'm going to have to fix that light. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this smoke down to the 1st inch and figure out exactly what's going on with this sucker. Alright, so about coming up on 1 inch in, the flavor has definitely solidified into a touch of pepper with a very earthy, leathery note, along with a very pronounced, deep, dark coffee espresso note. Weirdly enough, the retrohale is kind of oaky. Overall, though, definitely not your typical Punch, and that's a good thing. I suppose I probably should have pointed this out in the first place. This has a nice big double cap on it. It's kind of hard to see, but I think I really ought to start pointing that out a little bit more because of the whole cap thing is actually part of the construction quality. Now, I typically go by how long it burns, but that's actually more a function of whether or not it's actually long leaf or mixed filler. Construction, as you can see, tends to be how many caps it has. Hello, Echo. How tight the stick is, how smooth it is, whether or not there's any large veins coming down the actual wrapper. And even then, sometimes you kind of have a difficult time actually avoiding certain veins. This is partly just leaf selection plus just the overall quality of the cigar in general. But yeah, Punch is known for having excellent quality, to the point where they've won numerous awards over the decades, and indeed over a century, I think. Yeah, 1840, 1940, yeah, it was over a century of history. There's a reason why these things stick around for a while. Okay, that's weird. It initially started off with a bit of pepper. That pepper is completely gone, but you still get that nice, tanned leather with a dark espresso. Kind of teeters between espresso and like 80% dark cocoa. If you let it sit in your mouth for a little bit, you get a touch of very subtle sweetness. I'm kind of half inclined to think that's going to build up later. Anyway, I'm going to smoke this down to the halfway point and see if that proves true. Okay, I was going to say something, but I completely forgot what I was going to say. Well, anyway, I'll get back to the halfway point. Alright, so ash just fell off right about the halfway point here. So far, Kind of maintaining that overall kind of earthy leather, dark coffee. Also kind of lightening up to a little bit of a slight nuttiness. Overall though, I'm noticing that the flavor is kind of building as it goes. I've had a few things that I've been thinking a little too much, and I've had to do a couple of touch-ups here and there. So you can call that a little operator error, but other than that, construction seems to be pretty good with the exception of a slight crack, which tells me my humidity is still off. I'm working on getting my hygrometer. Other than that, not much else to write home about. It's just kind of one of those flavors that builds, you know? Flavors are good, flavors are distinct, flavors are very different from your typical punch flavor profile. The retrohale is getting a little more on the bready side, which is interesting. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and yank the band because it's actually on there really, really loose and just kind of sliding around being annoying. It's kind of funny, I want to say about a good 10 minutes ago, somebody commented just walking by on a bicycle, well, riding by, that it was finally a nice day. And of course, I look around the mountains. Clearly, somewhere over there, an Oblivion Gate has opened. So this review is probably going to get pretty visibly dark, because that sun is setting fast. Well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take the band off of this, most of this down to the nub, and finish up from there. Alright, coming up on the nub here. I noticed past the halfway point, the leathery notes kind of died down, and it has a little bit higher emphasis on the coffee profile. So far, drink recommendations, I can definitely call this a good coffee cigar. Maybe a good smoky scotch. But overall, the flavors have been a nice earthy leather, segueing into more of an earthy coffee, like deep, dark coffee, with a subtle sweetness it builds. Retrohale kind of maintains that kind of oaky, slightly breadiness. Overall, though, I'm going to call this an excellent addition to the punch lineup, and definitely shows that they can branch out to doing more than just the strictly traditional, which is a good thing. Other than that, not a whole lot else to say about it. Definitely worth the money if you can find it. But seeing as how it is kind of one of those top tier brands, it's probably not going to be the cheapest out there. That said, worth the price of admission. Well, anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about this. Excellent construction, excellent flavors, nice subtle transitions that are still noticeable without being too subtle. Other than that, that's pretty much all I got. If you like this video or any other video, like, subscribe, leave me a comment. Loud motorcycle. Let me know if you've had a different experience from me. Beyond that, check out my Twitch stream. Sundays and Wednesday nights, midnight to 2 a.m. It's going to be, I believe, mountain time. So, let's see, midnight here. If you're on the East Coast, that's probably going to be 2 a.m. I bring that up because I occasionally get a Welsh guy that shows up like right at the tail end and completely misses the whole thing. Whoops! Anyway, if you haven't missed the live broadcast, it is actually recorded for about a week up in advance. So, don't stop by. Other than that, that's pretty much all I got. I'll see you next time.